Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to the Thursday, November 30 spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Sloane Peterson Brady gave in to pressure from Dimitri von Bleschner over the phone, telling Eric Brady that she had an urgent client matter and leaving him alone with the child. Meanwhile, Marlena Evans paid Eric a visit, giving him a baby present and providing updates on Nicole Walker-Demira's belief that Eric was her son from their earlier meeting. On Thursday's episode of Days, Nicole apologized for yelling at Holly Jonas while she was in the hospital at the Demira mansion. Nicole said that she was feeling much better now that she knew her kid was still alive after E.J. Demira left her alone with Holly. Nicole was certain that she was the biological mother of Eric and Sloane's adopted child, but Holly appeared uneasy and doubtful of her mother's instincts. Sloane forced E.J. to give up his grudge against Leo when she arrived at the door, explaining that he wasn't the cause of E.J.'s newborn's death. Leo's relationship to Dimitri, whom Sloane was unable to conceive, caused E.J. to disagree. E.J. asked Sloane to leave while maintaining his position, and that he would see her in court. While pursuing E.J., Sloane barged into the living room, which caused her to confront Nicole. Nicole questioned Sloane extensively about how and why she had taken the baby, and Sloane insisted it wasn't the same one. Sloane made her way to the door after E.J. threatened to eject her if she didn't go. Nicole attempted to pursue Sloane, but Holly intervened. Nicole was devastated and in a panic because she wanted to know how Sloane had managed to pull this off. After a while, E.J. calmed Nicole down by saying that things would appear differently in the morning. When Sloane showed up at Dimitri's motel room, she congratulated her good work after lying about the charges against Leo being dropped in the morning. On Thursday's episode of Days, Eric returned and discovered that Nicole was still claiming the baby as her own when he unlocked Holly's door. Holly asked Eric if he would be prepared to have a DNA test conducted in order to disprove Nicole's theory because she thought it may be helpful. On Thursday's episode of Duel, Konstantin Melionis, John Kapelos, asserted at the Kyriakis mansion that Victoria Cook was probably abducted to get at his hands. Konstantin made up a tale about getting involved with the Greek mafia after he went to a sketchy person for assistance in repaying Victor Kyriakis' loan, which allegedly resulted in additional debt with sketchy individuals. Steve Johnson questioned why Konstantin had only now brought up all of this, but Konstantin pretended to have just realized that they had to be responsible for the baby kidnapping. Maggie Kyriakis sympathized with Konstantin's predicament even if she didn't support his affiliation with the mob. Nevertheless, Maggie decided that her family's safety had to come first, and she promised to cover both Konstantin's airfare home and the cost of one night at the Salem Inn. Maggie added that although she would settle Konstantin's debt, she could not have him or his risk anywhere near her family. Although he had grown to care about Maggie, Konstantin professed to be heartbroken over the whole situation. Nevertheless, he promised to honor her desires and left the room to pack. He called John Black after getting back with Steve and told him what Konstantin was stating this time. Steve didn't think Konstantin was telling the truth about himself to Maggie since he didn't trust him. On Thursday's episode of Days, Theresa Donovan gave Alex Kyriakis a bag of frozen peas to ease his sore hand after taking him home. When Theresa questioned Alex about how their professional relationship affected their personal relationship, he said that it was difficult, particularly when they shared a room. In addition, Alex mentioned that other family members had advised him to avoid Theresa, but he reassured her that he wasn't easily scared off. That was fantastic news, Theresa thought, but then she insisted that she was obsessed with Alex and couldn't get him off her mind. He believed they ought to take action because Theresa had mentioned that it was difficult to be seated this close without wanting to rip off Alex's clothes. Alex told Theresa that he didn't do it out of sympathy after they made love on the couch because she was worried about their previous experience in Greece. Although Theresa was happy to hear that, She made a suggestion that the next time, Alex should buy her dinner first. Alex seemed to sense a great spark between them and was in favor of increased passion. According to teasers for Friday, December 1's episode of Days of Our Lives, Eric Brady will support Holly Jonas' suggestion to have the baby's DNA tested in an effort to convince Nicole Walker DeMira that he is not her son. Holly believes that acknowledging Nicole's loss, despite Nicole's severe denial, is preferable to witnessing her mother continue to live in this agonizing denial. Nicole is the boy's mother, of course, but Eric and Holly think the sadness is merely playing tricks on her. For this reason, Eric is going to the hospital with the infant, where he will meet Kayla Johnson and then beg for a favor. Before we proceed with the DNA test, Eric will go over the challenging circumstances. Nicole might gladly put up a DNA sample and hope that this will establish her biological relationship to the child once she hears more about Holly's proposition. As she works to clear Leo Stark's name, Sloane Peterson Brady will momentarily be blind to her new issue. Fans of Days are aware that Sloane was only giving Dimitri von Leischner what he wanted to hear when she informed him that Leo's charges will be dropped in the morning. In actuality, Sloane's inability to reach E.J. DeMira has left Leo mired in legal limbo. Days teasers indicate that E.J. will make fun of Leo during Friday's Duo episode, which means he'll probably promise to put Leo behind bars and ensure that he never gets to see Dimitri again. Sloane is determined to win Leo's freedom, but she might have to use every legal tactic in the book. Days teasers indicate that Tate Black will do a trick on his own in the town square, or more precisely, that he will perform a trick at Holly's request. Tate will stop Channel Dupree cold and attempt to postpone her date night with Johnny DeMira because he agreed to ruin their romance. Chanel will undoubtedly become distracted and possibly start to wonder what Tate is up to. That might result in Channel bringing up some fresh charges against Johnny later when they are having supper at the bar. However, even if Eric's DNA test confirms that the child is Nicole's, it might only provide half the story. As we mentioned earlier, the second half might be curled up in EJ's safe. Additionally, after EJ and Nicole reunite with their child, they might decide it's time to take the exam again to get a refresher on what they need to do to ensure that their boy is safe and well, and that they never run the risk of losing him. For EJ, that is not good. For Sloane, it's even worse. If she can't prove her innocence and blame Melinda for the baby swap, she'll already be in enough hot water. When DNA tampering is added, which will actually cost EJ his son, she will face not only an enraged DeMira, but also a formidable and enraged DA, who is prepared to revoke her license and throw her down the darkest pit possible. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.